at the moment, but England may not be the perfect place for you. In today's video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you shouldn't move to England. When people in Asia think of England, they often think of the Queen, high tea, fish and chips. However, this isn't quite the case. There are lots of people considering moving to England at the moment, but England may not be the perfect place for you. In today's video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you shouldn't move to England. The first is, like many countries, the media and the reality can be very, very different. I have genuinely been asked before, if you're from England, why don't you sound like Harry Potter?
I'm Harry Potter.
If you're from England, why don't you have blonde hair? Shows like The Crown and Downton Abbey showed how people behaved many years ago. How all men were gentlemen and how they would take their coat off and put it in a puddle for the women to step in. And while we do still pride ourselves on our manners, it's no longer the same as it was before. So if you're expecting a world like TV, you're going to be disappointed. The second is, if you can't speak a basic level of English and you're not willing to learn, you shouldn't move. Unlike many countries where English is used to...
嗨，大家好，这是肥波，这里是 VSMEDIA， 想让更多人看到你吗？欢迎来投稿，投稿链接就在这边。
some degree, like Taiwan, Hong Kong. Chinese is not used on a large scale in England at all. This means if you go to the supermarket, open a bank account, or talk to the police, the chances are that they won't speak any Chinese or have anything written in Chinese, and you're going to struggle. Now, you can do what some people do and just stay in a bubble and only speak Chinese and meet people who also speak Chinese. Go to Chinese supermarkets and hang out with other Chinese-speaking people. But Lunar New Year is not widely celebrated in England. Dragon Boat Festival will pass you without you even noticing. And if you don't integrate into your environment, you will live a very limited life and it will feel quite isolated too. My question for you today in the comments is, have you ever considered moving to England, and why or why not? The third is, if you can't cook, don't move to England. This isn't because our food is bad, which probably many of you are thinking right now, but it's because compared to the East, eating out in England is very expensive. Unlike Asia, where it's possible to eat out daily and not spend a lot of money, the average meal is going to cost 11 to 35 US dollars, and even higher if you choose London. Kitchens are going to be much bigger compared to the ones in Asia, even in smaller houses, and going to buy your weekly groceries will be significantly cheaper than eating out. Sometimes it will be cheaper to buy groceries in England than it is in Asia. Ingredients are going to be different to what you're used to too from home. So having basic knowledge in cooking will go a long way to making your life in England easier and cheaper. The last thing you want to be doing is living a life of instant noodles and microwave meals. In terms of being on the street, I feel much more safe in Taiwan or Hong Kong. I will go outside after 10 PM by myself with no worries, and even use my phone outside without looking over my shoulder. However, doing this in the UK makes you an easy target and you could get robbed. Growing up, I learned not to leave my bag out of sight, to lock up my bike securely, to never leave things in the car where people can see them. Coming to Asia, it was a really hard habit to break. When I went to the cafe, I'd leave my laptop on the table and I'd go to the bathroom without being worried that my laptop's going to get stolen. I even lived in a house in Taiwan that had no front door for 2 years. However, I do realize that right now in Hong Kong, a different kind of safety is being considered. Finally, if you enjoy the hot weather and hate the cold, don't move to England. Summers in England are amazing, however they only last a few weeks at best. Winters can feel really numbing in England, and even though I've only lived in Taiwan for 6 years now, going back to England in the winter, I really do suffer. On top of that, days in the winter are much shorter. It's perfectly normal for me to leave to go to work and then the sun rises, and also the sun will set before I even finish work. So no sun all day. So trust me when I say that the novelty of snow will quickly wear off. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please give me a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.